Chapter 1 is Yojana, aligning the body, mind, and heart in chanting. So, the essential truth is that when we can chant properly and easily, if we have ruchi, taste. Ruchi, however, is dependent on the purity of a heart. Someone who is pure at heart loves to chant, while someone whose heart is occupied with many other desires and attachments finds it difficult to chant with concentration. It is that straightforward. The internal purity is the result of spiritual practice, usually performed over a prolonged period of time in an association of devotees. Is there any other method that can help accelerate the process? Yes, we have to learn to be fully present and absorb ourselves entirely while chanting. This powerful and transformative practice invites the Holy Name to work His wonders and quickly purify us. But if we are absent, like someone who is not at home, the Holy Name cannot work on our hearts because our heart is not in it. The method to bring us to the state of a presence is called yojana. In Sanskrit, yojana means to connect, join, harness, or yoke. It comes from the verbal root yuj, which is also the verbal root of yoga. The best English translation for yojana is alignment. But what is to be connected and joined up? The answer is body, mind, and heart. The concept of alignment. So, the term alignment comes from the French word aligner, which means to line up. The English translation is to arrange things to their proper position. Think of a sports car. It can speed up, speed down a highway if the wheels, gears, cylinders, fuel, etc. are in their proper position. These elements work seamlessly only when they are fixed in their appropriate place. Then and only then, locomotion can take place. If oil or water is filled in the gas tank instead of fuel, then the car won't move. Another example of alignment is seen in the yoga asanas. You can experience the full benefits of yoga and enter the yoga zone when your body posture, movement, and breathing are all synchronized. Yoga positions become laborious or infectious when one moves, thinks, and breathes out of alignment. One must begin to think like this in our chanting practice. We should place our mind, body, and heart in their proper positions so we achieve optimal concentration and chant with the deep devotional feelings. This will attract the Holy Name to reveal Himself more and more because He notices our effort to please Him. Taking the effort to align ourselves is our motivation to the Holy Name. When our home is in a disarray, it's not fit to receive a guest. Only when we make order it attractive for a guest to say. Similarly, when our body, mind, and heart are in disarray, Krishna has no proper place to stay. Aligning our entire sadhana sarira, vehicle for spiritual practice, helps us to fully immerse ourselves in the sound vibrations of the holy name. We can thus approach the Lord on the altar of our heart and invite Him to stay with us. The three temple gates, an analogy. The Sri Rangam temple in South India has three distinct gates called Gopuras. When one wants to enter the temple to take darshan or see the deity and to be seen by deity, one has to cross the first gate and pass through the outer walls that surround the temple. Then comes the inner wall with the another gate, and finally the innermost wall and one last gate. Only after passing through these three gates can person stand before the sanctum sanctorum, the room where the deity of the Lord Sri Ranganath resides. To approach the Lord of a heart, we also have to pass through the three gates by preparing the body, mind, and heart. We have to learn to gradually tune inward by aligning ourselves while we chant. If we do so, we have done everything in our human power to approach the Lord for His darshan. It is important to note that the final gate, the very door to the altar, cannot be opened by human power. It can only be opened by the mercy of the Lord. It swings open from the inside. Thus, the revelation of Krishna is purely His mercy, not the result of applying a technique, no matter how good that technique looks in our eyes. Aligning the body. When we begin our chanting of the holy name, either in japa or in kirtan, we must start by aligning our body. That is the first gate to open. It is said that both prayer and japa are best done sitting down. Srila Prabhupada would frequently admonish us, sit properly. Why? Because posture is so important. There was once a very happy sadhu who tried to help a man who came to him for a counsel. This man was always depressed and sad, and he had developed a habit of hunching over with his head dropped downward and shoulders slumped forward. No matter how the sadhu tried, he could not help lift his man's spirits. One day, when the man returned to Sadhu, he was surprised to find the Sadhu hunched over like himself, proclaiming with excitement, "It works, it works. I am also becoming depressed." So, bodily posture strongly influences our state of mind. In the case of a conditioned soul, body and mind are entwined. If you simply bring your body into the upright sitting position, the mind will calm a little bit and it becomes easier to chant. On the other hand, when the body is slumped over the mind, is often restless. Sometimes chanters pace back and forth. This is good when one is tired, but for concentration, sitting is better. When you chant japa, try to sit up as much as you are able. And when you chant kirtan, try to sit or dance gracefully as much as you are able. Aligning the body also includes making an effort to use and focus the voice on clearly pronouncing each name. This invites the holy name to be present in this entirety, syllable by syllable. This is not so important because a truncated mantra does not have the same strength as the complete one. Vedic scriptures illustrate this with the stories of chanters who mispronounced their mantra and achieved the opposite to their desired result. That said, it is also true that Krishna is not a pedantic. He appreciates our intention, just as a father is pleased by the broken, grammatical, imperfect words of his child. But shouldn't we grow up? It is a sign of love to give attention to the beloved, and this includes taking the name and effort, taking the time and effort to address him nicely without leaving our parts of his name. After proper enunciation, we must also listen carefully to the utterance of the Lord's names. Again and again, Srila Prabhupada instructed us to hear ourselves chant the mantra. At first, this may seem like a yogi concentration technique, but actually it is an act of devotion to give all one's attention to Krishna in form of his holy name. You will also find that listening with rapt attention will help focus your mind away from distracting thoughts. In my own experience, each round of japa takes roughly 6 minutes. But just as we each have an individual pulse, we also have a different times in which we complete one round of concentrated japa. To pace yourself accordingly, you can sometimes look at a watch. If you have finished one round in 3 minutes, it's likely you have not chanted all the 108 mantras. And if you needed 20 minutes, it's like you fell asleep or become distracted. So, to summarize, in summary, alignment of the body has three elements: posture, sit straight for better concentration, pronunciation, clearly utter the holy names, and listen, hear the names as they enter your ears. So, we'll pause here.